Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So my name is Diana. On this channel, what I basically talk about is anything relating to you migrating from overseas to the UK, either as a nurse, healthcare assistant, enrolled nurse, and all of that. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can even go about the process of migrating to the UK from overseas as a healthcare assistant or as a senior carer. So for those who are not even aware of exactly what goes into the healthcare assistant job, kindly pay particular attention. I'm going to explain what goes into the healthcare assistant job here in the UK, the documents that you need. I'm also going to talk to you about the requirements or the documentation that you need to put together to even apply for some of these jobs, and I'll also make mention of a few agents that I've already talked about in my previous videos, and I'm also going to show you how you can actually go ahead and search for some of these jobs in order to start applying. So if this is something that you are interested in or looking forward to going into, kindly stay tuned, take a pen and a paper and be ready to take notes, because I'm going to give you all the information that you need to know. Initially, coming to the UK was more like for nurses, doctors, and other professions, but the UK government is opening their doors wide to so many other people, and they've added healthcare assistant, domiciliary workers, support workers also to the occupation shortage list. So that means if you find yourself in this category of professions and if you have the experience, you also qualify to apply for such jobs and come to the UK on the Tier 2 working visa. So that's basically how come people are now able to apply for healthcare assistant jobs to be able to come into the UK. So somebody who does not really have any healthcare background might be asking, what is the work of a senior carer or healthcare assistant, or what would be expected of you? So healthcare assistants, senior care workers, support workers, their role is basically the same. So when it comes to like healthcare assistants in the hospital, they assist the nurses in their daily activities within the hospital in looking after the patients. They also help in personal care. They assist in feeding patients. They also help in mobilizing patients in and out of bed. When you go to the NHS, some of the healthcare assistants even do ECG. They also monitor vital signs and report it to the nurses. They also do documentation. Some of them are even trained to do cannulation as well as taking blood samples. So there is a wide range of activities that healthcare assistants do in the hospital. When it comes to the nursing homes or the care homes, they also assist the nurses by doing the personal care for the patient. What I mean is like helping them with their bed bath, changing their nappies as and when needed, assisting them with feeding, helping them in mobilizing in and around the care homes. Domiciliary care workers, they also go to people's houses to help them with their personal care or activities of daily living. So they play vital roles within the healthcare system within the UK. So the roles are kind of similar, and there might be something different that you might do depending on which facility you are working in. For instance, if you are working as a senior carer in a care home, some of them are allowed to give medication. It really does help the nurses a lot. So considering all of these various roles that you will be expected to perform, someone might be wondering, what is the healthcare assistant salary like, or the hourly rate like? For you to be able to apply for this health and care visa to come to the UK as a senior carer or as a healthcare assistant, it is expected that the company or the care home you're going to be working for should pay you at least £10.10 per hour, or an annually salary of £20,480. So if you are looking for a job, in order for you to be able to apply for the health and care visa, make sure that they are offering you what the UK government expects in order for you to get the visa. This is not to say that that is exactly how much you're going to be paid everywhere, because each agency or each care company have their own rate, so you might even get something more than that. So let's talk about who even qualifies to apply for this. So if you're a registered nurse, definitely you are even more than qualified to apply for some of these healthcare assistant or nursing assistant jobs or senior carer jobs. If you have any healthcare experience back home in whichever country you are applying from, if you are a healthcare assistant, if you are auxiliary nurse, you definitely qualify to apply for this. So let's start by talking about the requirements. Obviously, experience will be number one. Most of the care companies will obviously want you to prove that you've got experience, you know what you are about. So if you have any form of healthcare experience at all, this is what you have to like prove yourself and put it in the application, talking about all the experiences you've had as a healthcare assistant, all the skills that you've acquired throughout your work as a healthcare assistant or as an auxiliary nurse. That is where you have to put them in. So imagine if an employer receives several applications from people who are qualified and have the experience, definitely they might pick them over somebody who does not have the experience. So in order for you to also be considered, even without any formal healthcare experience, what you can do is to just get yourself attached to any healthcare facility near you, so that you can apply to do any form of volunteering job just to get you the experience. Because honestly, in UK you don't need any high qualification like a degree, masters or anything to do healthcare assistant job. So they don't expect you coming from overseas to have any high qualification. So the only thing you actually need is to prove to them that you've got the experience. So normally if you get yourself attached and get any form of experience, they will be able to give you reference in case it's needed. At least they can provide reference to show that yes, indeed you came to work with them and you've acquired this kind of experience. So if you are successful in getting the job, they can definitely provide reference for you. You need to have a detailed and updated CV. At least you should have like a properly structured CV which will look very, very professional in the eyes of the employers. And also that is what you need to put in, all the qualification you've got as well as your healthcare experience. So like I mentioned, even if you don't have like that formal healthcare experience, if you did that voluntary job, you can put that in the experience section and like provide a bit of details about the skills you acquired whilst you did that healthcare volunteer job, which is actually related to this job you're applying. If you're a healthcare assistant or if you're an auxiliary nurse back home, this will be the opportunity for you to put in all the skills and all the experience, all the activities that you used to do in the work experience section to prove to them that you are qualified and you have the experience to be able to do this job. Another thing you will need is a tuberculosis test. So obviously, because you'll be coming in to look after vulnerable patients, so tuberculosis is highly infectious. So if you are coming in here and obviously you're going to be looking after the elderly, the vulnerable, you will be expected to be free from tuberculosis. So that's where you need a tuberculosis test to show that you are free from tuberculosis. The UK government has approved laboratories or approved centers in each country where you can go and do the tuberculosis test. So you just need to find out from your country where you can actually go and have this done. And you will need this as part of the document when you are going to apply for your visa after you've been successfully offered a job. You also need a driving license. Not all the care companies require it as a must, but then if you have it coming from overseas, it will be an added advantage. Some of the job vacancies you see might be domiciliary or home care workers. So for those types of jobs, you would have to drive to the patient's home to look after them, to feed them, to do the personal care and all of that. So if you don't have the driving license, it might be challenging for you to get this kind of job. So what you can do is, even if you don't drive back home, you need to start taking some driving lessons. And what you need to do is, before you come here, get an international driving license. When you get that international driving license, it will allow you to drive here in UK for at least a year before you can get the UK one. So if you were not aware of this, at least now you know that driving license it's also needed. So try and then get all of that sorted out as well, so that in case you come across any job that is domiciliary care worker, you can apply. You also need a police clearance. Even if you are here in the UK, they always do a police check before they offer you any job to make sure that you don't have any criminal background and all of that, because you'll be coming in here to look after patients who are vulnerable and all of that. So they want to be sure that they are giving the job to the right person who doesn't have any criminal record or any criminal background. So definitely you need to do a police check in your country. I did a police clearance before I came here and I added it to my documents when I was applying for my visa. So find out from your country how much it's going to cost, exactly where you can do that, and get it all sorted out, so that once you're going to apply for your visa, you will definitely have it ready. Obviously, one important document you can take out is your passport. You will need to have your passport. If you don't have one, it's fine. You can just start making inquiries in your country how much it's going to cost, passport centers, and start working on your passport as soon as possible. I know how difficult it can be in some countries getting even a passport done, so start working on it as soon as possible. If you have one and it's about to expire, try and work it out and renew it even before you even start applying for any visa, because if they realize realize that your visa, your passport is even nearing the expiry, they might be skeptical about giving the visa to you. So if you realize that your passport is almost nearing the expiry, they kindly try and renew it before you even go ahead. You need to prove your English language proficiency. UK is mainly an English speaking country, so obviously they would want to know that they are giving this job to somebody who can read and write and communicate effectively with the patient. So if you come here and you cannot communicate, how can you even look after the patient? So the IELTS is what you can use as proof of your English language proficiency. So most of the care companies have their own IELTS requirements that they might expect you to get, but at least for the standard requirements for IELTS, you can write the general or academic UKVI, and at least you need to get minimum of 4.5 in each of the models. If you do the academic UKVI, it will be more of an advantage for you in case you come here and you want to further your studies, because if you want to go to school, they prefer the academic. I also made mention that you don't really need like a higher qualification to be able to do a healthcare assistant or senior carer job, right? So what you can do is you need to go online and do some courses that would actually help enhance your chances, or even give you more knowledge about how the UK system is like, and some of the terminologies you are likely to even come across when you come here. So I did a video in which I shared some of the approved courses that you can do to increase your chance of getting some of these jobs. I also did a video about how you can get the care certificate even if you are from overseas. The care certificate is one of the approved like certificates that you can that allows you to work here as a healthcare assistant. So most of the healthcare assistants here in the UK have that care certificate. The care certificate is comprises 15 components, and it talks about infection control, safeguarding. There is a long list of modules in that care certificate course. So if you do that, you would have an upper hand compared to somebody who doesn't have. If you do a list of some of the approved courses that I mentioned in the other video, it will also increase your chance. So I'll leave the link to those videos so that you can check them out. Even if you manage to do at least 5 or 6 of them, you put it in your CV in the section, maybe certificates. You can create a section in your CV as certificates and then put in a list of all those courses that you've done. Obviously, if an employer is looking at a CV that has a list of all of these approved courses, obviously they will know that you've actually gone a step ahead, you've put your right foot forward. They will definitely give you an upper hand, or they will definitely consider you. So now, having talked about all of this, let's talk about how you can even apply. So there are so many care companies that you can actually apply. You can go on to glassdoor.com, you can go to indeed.com. If you're applying from overseas, you can type in healthcare assistant jobs or senior carer jobs for overseas nurses with tier 2 sponsorship. These are some of the keywords that you should type in, because most of the care homes will give priority to those who are already here. I also made a video about a list of 10 agencies that are recruiting from overseas. I will leave the links to all of these so that you can start applying. I've left the website, the contact details, the email address of all of these care companies I mentioned in those videos. What you need to do is just go ahead, go onto the website, click on the links, start throwing in all the applications. You need to like get yourself ready before you go ahead and start applying. Otherwise, you might get to the middle and then get stuck when they ask you for certain things that you don't have. It kind of delays everything for you. So I hope this video has been of benefit. If there is anything that I've left out, you can actually make mention of it in the comment section so that others can also benefit. So I will see you in another video. Bye bye.